What's up, people? Sharky's back. Today we're going to be looking at, well, something old, but it's new to me. And that is the Marvel Legends Gamerverse KINGPIN. So, let's get him out of this box and have a little sniff. I mean, there's not much to this box, let's be honest. It's got his name on here. It's got, a bit of bizzo over here. What's this say? When the Kingpin, who controls New York City's organized crime families, is incriminated by Spider-Man, a mysterious new menace comes to power. Yeah, that's him. Good old Wilson Fisk. That's the box. This is the Gamerverse version. I don't have the other version, so I won't be comparing him to that. But we will compare him to a couple of things. There you go. A little bit of Spider-Man art there for you. And some plastic noises, because I know how much people love those. There's the figure. Can he stand straight off the bat? No problemo. Anyway, let's get this rubbish out of the way, because that's exactly where he's going, in the rubbish. And we'll have a look at the very minimal amount of accessories that this figure comes with, and that starting with an alternate set of hands, and he has got a very nice pinky ring there, a band it is, and these are quite nicely sculpted actually. You got some wrinkles and details here in the what do they call those parts of your hand? There's a name for it. Not thumbs, but in the, I guess, the recesses of your hands, I guess you could call it. Yeah, they do look good. So yeah, one punching hand, and the other one's more of a grip hand for his scepter, which, just having a look at it, has a slight bend to it, ever so slight, which I'm assuming could probably be bent back with. It's not too bad. And it's obviously got this kind of ruby adorning, the tip of it. I said tip. And yeah, it's pretty straightforward from that, really. I guess you can clock a few people over the head with it. And then you've got the alternate head sculpt. Hey guys. Which I think looks pretty gnarly, actually. Like, I have the retro carded Kingpin, which I don't have it out of the packet, I only have it on card. But I feel like this head sculpt's better. I'll just jam this in here so we can have a look. Like, this is obviously more animated inspired than this one, but I kind of dig this one more. So yeah, there's a little comparison for you. And that's it. That's the accessories. So yeah, very minimal. The only reason I bought this is because I don't have a Kingpin figure other than the one you just saw on card, which I'm not opening. And it was on sale. I think it was like $50 on Amazon, which is cheap by Australian standards. Anyway, starting with the figure's head sculpt here. Very, very ever so slight Vincent D'Onofrio vibes. Oh, shit. Okay. That's probably not supposed to happen. There goes Adam being rough with his figures again, folks. So, oh dear. So we've just established that that's as high as a T-pose as he can get into. All right. That's kind of funny. It isn't broken. It just slotted back in there. See, look. So to the troll that likes to hop on my videos every now and then saying how I break figures, I hope you enjoyed that. I wish this had a middle finger so I could send it your way. Anyway, back to the figure. Now, I'm trying to like make as minimal amount of shaking as possible because I know that that irks some people too. Now, the flag is balancing on a wooden lower deck, folks, okay? So I'm just going to try and be very minimal with my movements. And articulation-wise, that's as far as those elbows are going. Obviously, you can get them down to there, and that's it. I already showed you I only got up to there. So I guess you can get him kind of into like a clobbering sort of menacing nature. Maybe he's gonna bang his fist on a desk. But that's about it, really. And you'll see this other thing, this other hand here also reflects the other one with the pinky ring. The jacket, the details on the jacket, although quite bare, like overall, like this overlay, it is nice. You got the pocket chief up here, folded into there, which matches his tie. Very chic. I don't think this comes off. I don't think this is buttoned, is it? Oh, I don't know. Is it? I don't think it is. Surely not. I just want to open it, but I don't want to break it. I'll have to check that out later on. I'm not going to rip that open and then, you know. I don't think it is, but it kind of looks like it, doesn't it? Look at that. I don't think it is, though. That'd be too much effort for Hasbro. Leg-wise, yeah. He ain't kicking very high, folks. Because this is basically like a builder figure. This is why this is happening, all right? So I'm not breaking it. I'm just going to get that back down there. There you go. All right, so if you've never had a Legends builder figure in your hand, this is kind of how they operate, all right? Oh dear, this is funny. All right, anyway, back here, this leg just wants to pop off now. Back here, the leg will go up to there. And that one is clearly moving a lot easier than the other one. Get on there. All right. Feet wise, yeah, they're not going anywhere other than, you know, posing them out for standing purposes and whatnot. I did do the how far you can look down. Yeah, he can't. And he can look he can look up to there. All right. So let's go and pop the other head sculpt on so you can have a quick look at that. There it is. Looking good, mate. And might as well take one of these fists off. And there he is holding his cane, scepter, whatever you want to refer to it as. And let's see just how he stands now after a little bit of maneuvering. In terms of ab crunch, I don't think he's going to have much at all, especially with this jacket being the way it is. So, yeah. And you're not going back far either, or else those legs are just going to pop off. But, so he is very limited in terms of articulation, but I mean, he's a big hunker chunker man. Like, what do you want him to do? All right, so now I'm going to bring in Mrs. Sharky, because we are starting a new segment today. And in that segment, what is going to happen is my wife, who knows nothing about this stuff that you see in front of you, she doesn't collect action figures, she doesn't even barely come into this room. So I decided that why not invite her into this room for a little bit of fun. Some parlor games, if you will. And what we'll do is I'm going to get her to pick up this figure and give us her thoughts on who she thinks it is, what she thinks of the figure, you know, her first impressions. Who knows what could happen? All right, so let's just roll with this for now. This could be horrible and end really badly, or it could be really fun. So without further ado, Mrs. Shark! So, what we're going to do is, I'm going to get you to remove this piece of paper very gently, all right, to reveal the figure underneath, okay? So, go for it. All right. So, do you know who this is?
Is it the guy from Batman?
No, it's not the guy from Batman. I'll give you one more guess.
I don't know.
Okay, well, you've failed on that first question. It's the KINGPIN.
That's from Batman.
No, from Daredevil.
Oh, yeah, I meant Daredevil. That's who I thought, though.
Okay.
I did.
Anyway, whatever. Okay, and what does that character do for a living?
He's the mayor, isn't he?
Yes, yeah, you could say he's a mayor. I'll give you a point for that one. All right. So, picking up the figure and looking at it, you can move it around, like it does move and stuff like that.
Yeah.
The arms move and things like
It
that.
doesn't look like Goran.
No, it doesn't look like Goran. It's more based on a video game version of the character.
Okay.
What do you think of the figure?
I mean, I don't think much about it.
Would you buy it?
Probably not.
That's all he comes with, by the way. Like, he doesn't come with anything else.
Yeah. I mean, I only know him from Daredevil, and he doesn't look like the guy from Daredevil.
Yeah, from the TV series.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair enough. Okay. Is there anything you like about it or dislike about it?
Nothing.
Nothing. Doesn't move the needle for you at all?
No.
All right, how much do you think that would be worth?
$12?
Try again.
Higher or lower?
Higher.
$30.
That's $50.
Oh, really?
Yep.
You paid $50.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And
Yes,
that's
I mean, he's big.
yeah, that's
He's bigger than your average figure.
that's correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. That's why he's more expensive price point. But do you think it is worth $50? Like, do you think it should be cheaper or more expensive?
Probably cheaper.
And that $50 was discounted price.
Oh,
Yeah. So there you go. So yeah.
cool.
Yeah, that's it.
Can I go now?
Bugger off. Come on, get out of here.
Okay.
Enjoy Pilates.
See ya.
Bye. Now that wifey has departed, let's do some comparisons to some other figs. Alright, so I figured why not put him up with his right-hand man here in Bullseye and one of the older Frank Castle Punisher figures. And that Punisher figure is actually bigger than the Bullseye figure. So it gives you an idea of how Chrome Dome here towers above these two blokes. Alright, let's switch them out for another couple. Three kings. King Shark, KINGPIN, and the Forgotten King. I don't really do McFarlane, but I made an exception for this bad boy. I think he's great. And you get a good idea of how that Build-A-Figure scales up compared to this bloke here. So, yeah, he's a beefy boy. And yeah, the Forgotten King, well, he's just your standard 6-inch figure. Final thoughts. Look, I like it. I don't love it, but, you know, I think it's a good representation of the character to have in your Marvel Legends sort of villains collection, especially if you didn't get the retro carded one. I think the suit looks fantastic, you know, the tie and the little pocket chief. They make the suit pop. His shiny shoes also look nice, but the figure's let down by its limited articulation, the fact that it's Build-A-Figure parts essentially, so they, you know, reuse, and you don't get much with it in terms of accessories. You know, a set of hands and a head and this thingy bob. You know, for $50, I got to agree with my wife, it probably shouldn't be that much. I would have liked to have seen maybe a set of hands that could, grip a figure around one of its limbs or its head. You can't do a lot with these. Like, what's he going to hold besides his little bomby knocker? You know what I mean? So, yeah, something like that, thinking outside the square would have been cool. Imagine him being able to pose him picking up, like, the Punisher by the throat or, dragging him along by his arms or something like that. But he does stand well, like you can see he's balancing on that position there. But, you can't really get him into a good punching position because the arm only goes so far. You can't even really do a clothesline, you know what I mean? So, yeah, it's a bit flawed. Do I like it in my collection? Sure, it'll look nicely on the shelf with, guys like this. Anyway, folks, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed my wife's take on things. And, yeah, let me know in the comments. You're going to pick this one up? Have you already picked it up? Do you agree with me, disagree? Whatever. Like, share, subscribe, all that crap. And stay tuned because I got something pretty cool coming later this week. I think a lot of you are going to like it. Plonk!